As an assignment, I'd like you to recreate this file that I'm going to demonstrate here now. It's something that we're going to use to make a very simple HTML web page, and I've got a banner at the top with some buttons on it. So the navigation will be the 5 buttons at the top, and for content I've simply got 3 photographs running along the middle of the page here. I've already created this file, but I'll explain my way through it. Basically, let me just collapse all of these. I've got 2 main layer groups, one called photos. If I turn it off, you'll see what it is, the photographs in the middle, and another one called navbar, which is all the content at the top. And I'd like you to group your images, your layers together like this. Firstly, in the photos layer, or the photos group, I've got 3 distinct layers of 3 photos that are supplied to you, and behind that is just the background with a blue color applied to it. I'll collapse that and I'll show you the navbar. I've got 3 subgroups in there, one for the button text. If I turn that off, you'll see the text is isolated in that group. 5 distinct layers with the button text on each. The next group down is the button rollover color, which is simply the orange color of the oval. If I turn that off, you can see the regular button underneath, which is colored white, and each layer also has an outer glow applied to it with a 10 pixel span on the size. If I zoom in a bit here, you'll be able to see that a bit better. Now I'm just going to collapse this again. It was these images, which are named button for slices, that I made my layer-based slices. So I highlighted all of these. I'll go over to my move tool with my shift key, and I went up to layer, new layer-based slice. Now they're already created, that's why it's grayed out right now, but that's the way you would do it. If you can't see your slices, just go up to View, Show, and choose Slices. Now you'll notice that the slices did compensate for the glow. So we're going to retain that glow for the rollover version, which is contained in the group above, and all I did was really create a new oval, which is a duplicate of these ovals, and change the color. And if I turn that layer on, or that group on, you'll see those 5 layers, 5 separate buttons, which were created with the oval tool down here, the ellipse tool rather, and then duplicated as a group, changed some names, and changed some colors. So that's the navbar. Now once these layers are all created, and you're going to auto create, or rather create a slice for the photos as well by going in and highlighting them and doing the same thing under the layer pull down menu. Again, back to the buttons on the top, you're going to create 2 sets for me, because ultimately this artwork is going to be brought into Dreamweaver, and we're going to use some JavaScript to create some rollover effects on an HTML web page. So go to your Slice Select tool, and for each of these buttons, give them a unique name. Let me just cancel this for a second. Go to my navbar and turn off the rollover feature. You're going to do 2 sets, one with the rollover features turned off, and again let me double click on that button. Now I'd previously worked on this file, that's why there are names already in here, but you're going to need to go in for all the white buttons, call it button underscore button name underscore A signifying the original button state, which is the white version. So I went in, double clicked on each slice, and gave it the name using that naming convention. Again, I'm changing these back here. So let's assume these all ended in the letter A. I would go up here to File, Save for Web, and actually save an HTML page as well as the graphic slices. Once you're in the Save for Web dialog box, as you've seen before, you can go in and select slices and custom set their formats and their compressions. or you can go with the one that was set beforehand that applies to all the layer slices here. Click Save, and you have some options down here, as well as, of course, where do you save this. I'm just going to go to my desktop. I have a working folder, and I'll create a new folder for that. I'll call it Site Assignment 2. Click Create, and that will be my root folder. I'll save the file as slices3b.html, and under Formatting, HTML and Images, Settings, I'm going to go to Other because I want to make sure that it's going to generate a folder called Images for all of my images. So I'm cycling through here, and it's currently turned off under Optimized Files. So I'll turn that on, put images in folder called Images, then click OK, and make sure under Slices that I'm saying All Slices. Then I hit Save, and it's generating an HTML page as well as a folder with the slices. And just to confirm that, I'll go out to my Finder, Site Assignment 2. There's the folder with all the slices, and you can see the uniquely named slices and then the auto-generated slices. And the auto-generated slices, again, follow the convention of the file name underscore the sequence number of when the slice got generated. And there's my HTML file. Now I still need to create a second set of graphics for those buttons, which are the rollover features. So I'm back in Photoshop. I'm going to turn on the layer group called Buttons Rollover. Go in with my Slice Select tool, rename each one of those slices by changing the A to a B. Double click, change the A to a B. I'll just go in and change the rest of these to a B. And the last one here. Okay, and the next step is to export these into the Images folder uniquely by highlighting them in the Save for Web dialog box. I just export those 5 slices, and I'll export them into that same Images folder. I'm just going to reduce the view here, and again select with my Shift key the 5 buttons. Assuming my presets for my compression is good, I'm going to go down to Save, and I'm going to change some of these settings now. Number 1, I'm going to get myself inside of that Images folder. I'm going to turn this into Images Only. Under Settings, and this is very important, I choose Other, and I turn off Put Images in Folder called Images, because I've already got the folder. If I didn't turn that off, it would generate a subfolder, and I don't want to do that. I want to put it in with all the other images. So I've turned that off because I'm saving it in the already created Images folder. That's a lot to say. Click OK, and under Slices, this time I will choose Selected Slices. Alright, so we've got Images Only, Settings turned off the Create folder name, and choose only the selected slices. Make sure I'm inside of the Images folder, and click Save. If I go out to that folder, you can see all of the images that got created, the A and the B versions for the buttons, as well as all the auto slices, etc. So I want you to create that artwork so that we can go into Dreamweaver and create some JavaScript rollovers.